Welcome to our investigation of the Workman Temple Homestead located in California in the City of Industry. It's the year 1841, and William Workman and his wife, Nicolasa, moved to this land from Taos, New Mexico, back when this area was still part of Mexico. The family built two homes, the original home, the Workman home, and a newer home named La Casa Nueva, which means new house. Today, we are touring the original Workman home. This was cattle land, and their home was modest and reflected of the times. When it was built, it only had 3 rooms. The home grew as the family and income grew. Let's take a look inside and see who's home.
Okay, okay. So what I'm feeling right in here, especially in that back room, was this lady that's very much, had a nice dress on from back in the day, a little bit like that picture, but more of a light summer kind of a dress going on. She's okay, and I'm hearing something, oh God, she's mentioning a name, Victoria. She's very interactive. She's very friendly, very light feeling, really light feeling right now, but she's, okay, she's discussing flower gardens, flower things, special events, where it's just all these flowers that she loved to bring into indoors. Outdoors becomes indoors. Yeah, she just enjoyed entertaining. She does feel like she's just still kind of in that role, but just now her guests you don't see very well. Mm-hmm. She does talk about having a little dog, but a little one, much smaller than what I saw. There were a couple spirit dogs out on the lawn there earlier, but this one is just like this little tiny scruffy dog, that just runs around with her. Okay, and then she's talking about Juan. Well, I mean, that's a normal name, Juan, but she does mention a Juan in her life. She does feel like she kept her mom somewhere on the property with her, so it's like she was taking care of her, just being very, very gracious that way. Yeah, and that mom could be a little bit cantankerous, as older people can be, but mm-hmm. She's was okay with that. She says, mm-hmm. She's fun because she's getting closer now. She's like really engaging. She says the way she went was a lot quicker than the way her mom went. So she gives me the feeling like she might have had some sort of, and I'm feeling heavy pressure on the chest, just, whether it was congestive heart failure. I know it's hard to tell. I don't even know if we can validate any of this, that's going on. Also be open, your peeps may start coming in too, when they start hearing this. Mm-hmm. She gives I asked her what she's doing here now, and it's just like she's here to just give a genteel feel of when people come in, to tour and that sort of thing. She isn't just stuck here. She's all over the place, and she is still playing the gracious hostess, and she wants to give a feel of what it was like back in the day.
What is her name?
I keep getting a G name, so it's like G Gladiola, Gladys, it's like something like that kind of a name. Now, this may or may not be her actual name. She might be just bringing up this, extra name of someone she knows. Okay, and she's mentioning a last name of Barton, so she mentions this as well. She was relatively young when she passed. It was like almost like late 50s, maybe early 60s. She goes, don't put me any further past that, you know. She's actually kind of proud of the fact that she passed young. Tommy, she also talks about like a little boy, Tommy. I believe that Tommy does run around here still. I mean, he's still kind of like very much part of the scene. She says, he keeps me entertained. Mm-hmm. She went by me just now. She goes, excuse me, for just a second. It's like, fine. Let's see where she's going. Yeah, and there's an older man, well, I shouldn't say older than Tommy for sure. This is a man that stands about yay high that kind of came up behind me too. So apparently he was there, and then he just is like, while she went this way, he came up over my shoulder. He's showing himself to be in his like late 20s, maybe early 30s, darker hair. That's my mom. That's my mom. He keeps saying. So that's. Yeah, he too is saying, we're not stuck here. We're just, you know, hanging out. You know, we enjoy, we love this place, and we just. Okay, and he gives me a lot of emotion around, you know, thank God for you people that are keeping this so nice, you know, and just preserving our story. And he's very emotional about it, which is interesting because I would expect that she would have shown more emotion, but she's just busy, you know, and he's just like, thank you for doing this. Okay, and I'm hearing a gunshot with him, so it's like something happened that way, you know, where it's, he was definitely young when he passed. And it gives me the feeling like he was rushed, you know, like rushed on, you know, that someone just came up and just, you know, and that was it. He's showing me the kind of gun, you know, and he's holding it in his own hands. So it feels to me like he had a gun at the time too when he was attacked. Yeah, he's giving me the sound of the gunshot just so clearly. I kind of want to go with, I know we had heard about a suicide before, but it's possible this guy also, I don't know. I'm not really sure what happened. There was a gun involved for sure. Feels like he's being rushed.
Mona later told me that the confusion that she was getting from the spirit was that it might have been two spirits that were communicating with her at the same time, and so they were overlapping, the suicide victim and also another spirit who was relaying about the time he was playing with toy guns.
And then just this loud bang and it's over. So I'm not really sure yet. Let's see. Let me ask him if it's... yeah, he's not proud of it. He's going up what?
We believe Mona was speaking with the spirit of William Workman. In 1876, after he and his business partners, F.P. Temple and Juan Mateus Sanchez, lost their fortunes due to an unlucky business deal, Workman took his life.
He feels like he should have been there protecting more, but he didn't. In his eyes, he failed to protect something.
Is he giving you his name?
I think it's... I know sometimes they do, sometimes they don't, but it's... Let me ask him again. Let's see if we can... Baptiste. Okay, and he's also giving a name, Baptiste. Like there's something with that. I keep hearing Juan. I'm just going to put it out there. I know it's a common name, but it's definitely being said over and over again. but he's also mentioning the name Baptiste. And his purpose seems to be looking out after his mom. It's like, are they stuck here? No. Have they successfully crossed over? Absolutely. They just come here, and he just prefers to hang around her. He's a real dashing looking guy. I mean, just like, oh my. Back in the day, woo. Okay, Barney also, I looked down because it's like all of a sudden I felt this little dog go whoosh, right between my legs and off and thing. It's like, okay, so dog's name possibly Barney. Okay. Greystone, Gregstone, he also mentions this kind of a name. Okay, and he says 1853. He's talking about a horse, that he had a horse, and it was just, They had a lot of horses. But I mean, obviously, like in this kind of area, horse would have been the way to go. But he's talking about his own particular horse, and he's showing, this brown with this black mane, and it just looks so masculine, that he absolutely adored it. Star. Okay. He's talking about that some people they may feel him quite a bit. I mean, they'll feel her and just feel like, oh, I feel good in here. Oh, I feel that. But this guy, he'll try to actually communicate more. Which is ironic because she's the one who talked first, and then it's like, then he came up, and and he's speaking about a brother that he had as well. He's saying his brother was stuck with everything, taking care of everything else and the like, so, yeah. He's showing a full-length calendar, and he's kind of putting the month of July in it. So, maybe we could, I don't know if there's a way to look it up or something, but something about July is very significant. It's like an embroidered calendar, and it just drops all the way down, and then he just kind of takes me down to that month. Hot, steamy. Yeah, he's taking me back to like a picnic kind of a feel. It's like they would hold these big, yummy buffets and such, but they, and I could hear how like back east you can hear those insects just going, that's kind of what I'm hearing, they had the tables, they had everything out, and you can hear these insects going, and all it's a barbecue. It's like lots of ribs, it's lots of corn, it's lots of, all kinds of goodies. But he said yearly, this is a yearly thing, and people would travel from all over the place to come to that and have this feast with them. Okay, he said, and then he went around me, he went clump, 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 and now he's going off, over to that room, but I hear the boots just going, he's talking about a Native American too, that he was actually ended up being pretty good friends with. It's like this was his buddy, who went on to live a full life. Yeah, no, thanks. Sorry, he was pointing out the little picture that's fallen over in the thing. He says, make sure they put that back up. And I said, okay, yeah. Yeah.
Due to privacy reasons, our tour guide asked not to be on camera, and out of respect, I've edited her out of the footage and removed her voice. So there will be times when the audio goes quiet, and I'll drop in her responses to Mona's questions.
That's where she went just now. Okay, and he's, where is he? Yeah, no, I think he must be done for the moment, because, yeah, I don't feel him in here right now. That could change, but for now. Lady just kind of came up here, and now I'm trying to determine whether this is the same lady that I saw earlier. This lady was a lot more, first of all, she's brunette, but she's like, her personality was very quiet. You know, you wouldn't see her at a party just uproariously laughing necessarily. She's very polite. She's very, like she started explaining things, and she started to hold back the curtain a little bit, and she's talking about was there also a Robert or a...
There is a Robert on staff.
Because she might be, you know, like watching this. Yeah, she watches him. She watches, but in a good way. You know, it's not like, oh my gosh, you're doing something bad, horrible. No, it's like she's just kind of talking about what she watches out the window and watching, you know, just in general. And Robert's one of them.
Robert oversees the groundkeeping.
Oh, be darn. Okay, then that's why she's talking. Okay. That is so cool. I love this when they do this. She more of a cat lady. You know, she's all of a sudden I said this cat, you know, up on the thing, and she's just like walking across, and this lady seems to really like this cat.
Ooh, fellow cat lover.
Yeah, right? It's sort of like, oh wow, hey. Yeah. Seems to me to be a dark cat, you know, like a little, you know, black or, you know, brown or something like this. But she, yeah. Says Tabby Princess. Okay, she's calling it Tabby, but Tabby, my Tabby Princess. Seeing if she has anything more to say on. Okay, and she's, all right, she's talking about like really, like taking kids, and she'd love to, okay, well, all right. Okay, you talk. Like she's showing kids and teaching them about different things out in nature. So it's like she really enjoys that, whether it's happening now or if it's happening with her, also, it's like she really is an educator at heart, even though she wasn't necessarily a teacher, by profession. She kind of was. She kind of like just gathered everybody, from the neighborhoods, and taught them different things. And she's showing grasshoppers with, and they're attaching to the plants. And she was teaching about how that works and how to, remove them, take them off. They didn't know much about how to get rid of that stuff, like when she was, like in her prime. But she's likes to show kids wildlife and plants. She was a little bit ahead of her time in her thinking. She really enjoyed she enjoyed educating as much as she knew. And she would read, incessant reader, and would read about not just light reading. We're talking like almost scientific journal kind of, as much as she could get her hands on. She would read about nature, and pass that on to her kids, or to kids that are. I forgot. I don't know if you've said that they had kids or not, but I don't get the feeling like she had a lot of kids. It was more like the neighborhood kids or her kids. That's the kind of feel I get. If this is this lady here, but I'm not sure on this.
The Workman family did have a schoolhouse on site. Education was very important to the family.
Yeah, that makes sense with her. Okay, she's talking about a lot of windows being broken during a time, because kids would try to just hit rocks with the bats and that kind of thing and smash into thing, and she was just like... Mm-hmm. Okay, and she's talking about April as being significant to her. So it would be like born in April, passed in April, something like this. That's significant to her. She's really quite funny, but she's just very quiet way of going about it. So she'll just sit there and just kind of and show her humor. But yeah, if she needed to be strict, she could be strict with the kids. They didn't really need a whole lot. She was more like she could fire daggers with her eyes, mm-hmm. and they would just behave like right now. It's like, you will not do this, and it's like, okay. She's quite fascinated with Bob. I mean, like to the point like, oh, if he was alive during my time. She just thinks he's the bee's knees, basically. Mm-hmm. She's not quite sure what to make of jeans. She's kind of like, touching me. She goes, I don't think I could wear that. But so she definitely was wearing dresses most of the time. She feels a little different to me than the other lady that was in the other part of the house. What I'm doing is just barely touching the glass, but she kind of put her hand up over my hand, and so I could just kind of meld with her real quick, mm-hmm. and then just kind of feel like, and she's talking about glasses, like I could see like reading glasses that she eventually had, and they're kind of wire oval frame, yeah, and she goes, of course I don't need them anymore, but she's just mm-hmm. showing me stuff that she had to finally to see out the window. She was kind of going, well, I needed those after a while. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, she's okay, and she mentions this tree across here. This thing. Not the oak, but the whatever that. Yeah, and she's. Let me see what she's saying about it, because she's. Okay. She was talking about her concern about limbs falling off of it. It was like, now I don't know if she'd been watching it during that wind event that we had recently, but she was just kind of concerned, that might lose that one. I want to check that one. She goes all over the place also. It's like she just kind of wants to keep an eye on things, or try to encourage some workers to kind of, pay attention to this, pay attention to that, and then suddenly they'll kind of think, oh yeah, maybe I ought to look at this a little bit, and that's kind of her also, as well as that lady. But she's more into the entertainment. Mm-hmm. And this lady is more, okay, we'll keep an eye on the groundskeeping. She will interact with kids as well. It's like but she's so subtle that it took her walking up to the window to get my attention. It's like that wasn't going to happen otherwise, because she's so quiet. But yeah, kids, if they're still enough, long enough, they could probably feel her around. Again, a positive influence. Okay, all right. Okay, I think that's pretty much what she kind of wanted to say. But she's, she'll be around. I'm sure she'll follow us around too.
There have been some concerns about some of the older trees on the grounds, not necessarily the oaks, those ones are fine, but other trees that they are concerned about. This was part 1 of our investigation. We will be visiting the La Casa Nueva home in our next episode, so I hope you join us for that. And we will have a little extra video that we also managed to film on this tour at the cemetery that the grounds have. So please join us, and please like and subscribe, because that really helps us out. Thank you, and have a great day.